Hey everybody, Matt here with Field Contact. Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I'm probably pretty hard to see right now. It's 7:17 here in Arizona, so there's still some ambient light over yonder past the mountains, but that sun is setting to the west and it's going to get dark real soon. So why am I filming a video in the dark? Hopefully it's not going to be all darkness, right? Because this video is going to be about low light shooting, okay? There could be a time where you are faced in a situation where you're out and about at nighttime, right? Whether you're out with friends, out with your significant other, whatever the case may be, and you are faced with a situation where you have to use your firearm or defend yourself in a dark setting, okay? And so we're going to talk about manipulating a weapon-mounted flashlight or a handheld flashlight to identify your threat, right, and identify what's beyond that threat. Because remember, we're responsible for every bullet that leaves our gun, and that's across the board. So we need to be able to see what we're trying to engage, right? And that's where this video comes in. Low light, dark. And we're going to use our weapon-mounted lights attached to our firearms to positively engage a target and get good hits, and we're going to talk about it. So there's a couple things. If you don't have a weapon-mounted light, my question to you is, do you carry a flashlight? If the answer is no, you don't carry a flashlight, you don't have a weapon-mounted flashlight, I'm going to tell you you're wrong. You need to at least have one or the other. Even during the daytime, you could go into the movies, right, and something could happen and you still need to see in the dark theater, right? So if you don't have a weapon-mounted flashlight or you're not carrying a little pocket flashlight, you need to fix it. The flashlight on your iPhone will not work. So we'll demonstrate some of those things, and yeah, we'll just get after it. We'll have some fun. I hope you guys enjoy this video. It's going to be dark, and I think we're going to get some good content. If not, we'll at least get some good video of shooting it in the dark and watching muzzle flash, so that'll be exciting. We're going to give it a few more minutes, and then we're going to get after it. We're going to do some shooting on just with our weapon light systems, whether it's a flashlight, right, or whether it's a weapon-mounted light on a pistol, or maybe a weapon-mounted light on a rifle. And then we're going to do some shooting where we're going to position the truck, and we're going to use the ambient lights from the truck to produce what maybe a street might look like, right? Whether it's amber lights for the street lights, or maybe it's the headlamps of a passing motorist. So we're going to use those. And yeah, we're just going to have fun. So stick around and let me know what you think in the comments. Cheers, folks. All right, folks, so I got the truck turned around. Sorry if it's loud, it's running next to me. So you can kind of see the wood post on the frame, and then you can see the steel right above it, okay? Now, keep that in mind, exactly the light bar. You can still see it pretty good, right? I can still see it clear as day. Now, turned off the pods. You can still see it. It's getting difficult. Got the weapon light on it, okay, so we can see it. Got our threat. But what if there's no light? So there you go. There is absolutely zero light on it, right? Nothing coming from the vehicle. Maybe we're getting a little ambient from the moon. It looks pitch black on the camera. But now we draw out our weapon, use our weapon-mounted light, boom, there's the threat. You can start addressing, maybe you engage, whatever the case may be, right? So this is why it's important to have a weapon-mounted light and or a flashlight, okay? So gun away, flashlight, right? So you could still see should you have to. No lights, can't see your target. Be very difficult to try to engage target. Light, you can see, okay? Right. fired 3 rounds. I missed 2, okay? I'm probably about 15 yards away. On a sunny day, that probably wouldn't happen. But what's happening is when you're firing, your light's gonna pick up a lot of the dust that is blowing out from your projectile, right? So you're gonna get some whiteout or washout. And the same thing could happen if you have your light out and you start clearing something, right? You could start getting that backsplash back onto you. So keep that in mind. So that's a little bit better. So all we're doing is we're drawing out, working that weapon mounted light, guaranteeing our hits. Okay? So, all right. And that's all that's really is to it, okay? But imagine if you didn't have a light. Would you want to take that shot? I wouldn't. Like, I know where the target is because I was just shooting at it. But if that was a real person and they're moving, I would not want to take that shot without a light on them to see what they're doing, okay? There's no tricks, no secrets. You're just drawing out, working your weapon mounted light, getting your sight picture, squeezing your trigger, turning your light off. Some might argue that, like, oh, when you have your gun out, right, and you got your hits, and you're like bang, 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 how do you, like, do you turn it off and you move? My argument is once you have your gun out, your light on, and you're actively engaged in a firefight where rounds are going, the element of surprise is no longer an option. It's null and void. Don't worry about it. So get your gun out, see a threat, identify that threat with your weapon mounted light, and then get after it, whatever that may look like for you, okay? I don't have my big flashlight, so bear with me. So if you have a flashlight, maybe you don't have a weapon mounted flashlight, but you have a handheld flashlight, couple things that you can do. You can do this thing where you hold your flashlight high off to the side while your hand is on the gun pointing out this way. So the concept behind that is if there's a threat, the threat will engage the flashlight, which is over here, versus your gun hand being to the opposite side. Another option is you can turn that light on, right, put it in the palm of your hand, and then pinch it between your gun, and that would work, right, to some degree. The other option is you put it around to the other side of your hand, and you press the backs of your hands together, and that would be an option too. Me personally, I don't like any of those. That is why I have a weapon mounted flashlight on my firearms. Okay, so let's get after it. All right. So you saw me do a reload, and you saw me have my gun still up with the flashlight on, okay? Some will argue, turn your flashlight off. Me, I'm trying to get my gun back in the fight, and turning my flashlight off is the least of my worries at that point, since I've already fired at threat, right? So threat already knows I'm there. So whether my light stays on or off, to me is irrelevant. Getting my gun back in the fight is what's important. Threat! So there you have it. Nothing crazy. Just, you got to get out and do it. You just got to practice working that weapon mounted light. Remember, work that weapon mounted light with your support hand. Don't use your trigger finger to work that light. No. Use your thumb, or have a pressure pad maybe on your grip, but don't use your trigger finger. hard to see on your end, but I can see the hills, right? I can see the dirt, and then where the grass starts, and a lot of that's just coming from the moon right above us. But it's not enough light, okay? I can draw out, and I know where the threat kind of is because I can see the 2x4 holding the steel target, but I wouldn't feel comfortable taking that shot, right? So ambient light is good to get you maybe in the ballpark, but make sure you have your weapon mounted light. Threat! 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 Simulated holding the flashlight, right method, and you saw I had a soft primer. My gun just didn't go bang, right? And that's the problem holding that flashlight. Now I have to put that flashlight away, tap rack my gun, and get it back in the fight. That is where a weapon mounted light would just be beneficial, because now I have my hands on the gun. I can just do that work and get back into it, right? So things to consider. So we have the truck lights all on, super bright. This would be like shopping center, maybe all the ambient lights. You could see the target clear as day. If you had to, you could just probably gauge it, take those hits, right? But if you have a weapon mounted light, use it. So there it is, folks. It ain't anything special. It's nothing crazy. Couple things to remember: if you don't have a weapon mounted light and you carry a firearm, make sure you carry a flashlight and practice those different methods. I, for one, am not a fan of it because, as you saw, I had that soft primer. I had to bring this hand down to the gun, tap rack, where that takes up time, right? Even though this might not seem like that much time from here to here, it's a lot in a gunfight. So I would much rather have both hands on the gun, be able to tap rack, do all that thing. And kind of showed what washout would be, right? So if you have cover and you're using it, push that gun up past the cover and then activate your light so you're not blinding yourself. Have a light so you can see the threat. Don't depend solely on a perfect scenario, because I guarantee you it'll never happen. So you know, train for the worst case scenario, nighttime situations, low light, have a light, work those manipulations, etc. Otherwise, have fun. There's plenty of instructors out there. There's plenty of people much smarter than me that could probably teach this way better and way more in depth. I'm out here by myself, and so it's kind of hard. If you go out with a group of people, especially in the desert or maybe a forest area, and you do some shooting with a group, get glow sticks, pick those suckers up at Amazon, or go to your local surplus store and get them, just so that you can use the glow sticks as identifiers for the people, so you can account for everybody on the range, right? And everybody's safe. If I had a buddy out here with me, we would have glow sticks illuminating us, whether it's on our belt or a vest somewhere, so that we would be able to see, okay, that's a live person, and we know not to engage that, right? For a training environment. If you have questions, comments, leave them inside the comment section. I'll get to them. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the shooting. Hopefully you enjoyed the information that was relayed, and you can take bits and pieces of it and make it your own, because at the end of the day, that's what this community should be about, right? Taking bits and pieces from everybody and making it your own to work for you, because your situation might be different than my situation, right? So otherwise, have fun, get after it. Cheers.